Sorry, I'm not sure where I got cut off, but to continue with the story. Now, to me, it's a fictional story. Why? I have amnesia from the fall. I was either hit the ground so hard or the side of the building, whatever I assumed I hit, right? Unless I did call my ex wife for her shirt and she attacked me off base. But what? She tried to get my body near base and dump me somewhere? And I crawled back to base? I don't know, could have, right? But if I did, I'm half out of it. And the guards might not would even see me. And I would collapse behind the building. You see what I mean, right? I don't remember, right? If I did any of that or not. But it would look awkward though. Alright. See, if she came to the front and I'm trying to get a shirt, all she would have to do is bring the damn shirt and we talk about it in the lounge, maybe, or out by her car. Me trying to get a shirt to sleep in the lounge. But another problem is I didn't have ID. So I'm also trying to eliminate that idea. So if it was someone on base, it's clearly pointing to them. Especially a security guard or one of the other disgruntled employees in the Navy who's getting out on the medical. Because see, I'm not the only mentally ill patient at the hospital at the time either. Nor am I part of the gay Navy because obviously I have a life and we're having issues, but I'm on base because of her. Whatever the reason might be. Right? Now, first, you gotta eliminate the ex wife anyway. Why? She's also the only one who would know if something happened or not, too. Right? Not just you, not just you. Especially if you would have to bring her back in there to her, either way. Or she was in there with her all night. I don't remember. I know. Now, it's what she says, though, to the police. It never happened, right? That should be the final straw that broke the Kimball's back, even if it was her, I know. Because, see, then she's exposing the possibility of a male other than me doing the same thing. That gives me an alibi. See, if she's with biological dad before me, right? That gives me an alibi. He could have took a shower around the child naked, dumbass. It don't mean I was the only male to be naked around her. You see what I mean? What about granddad? What about Uncle Brandon? What about if stepmom had a lover on the side? I don't know. But it's to create an alibi that if I did do all that, why is the child letting me do all that and not going back in there to mom? Right? Which she's supposed to do too. If some strange man you don't hardly know is undressing in front of you and you're 4 years old, do you stay in there with him or you go in there to mom if you don't know him? Now, why do I bring up the little girl I remember showing my penis to at Chatham City Apartments? Right. Because I was about 5 or 6 then. I was still not in school, but about to start school. Or maybe in the first grade when I showed her my penis. Right. Now, see, all this was going to catch up with whoever this person is, whether it's Daphne or someone on base. Anyway, they're the ones lying about what really happened in the encounter either way. Either my ex-wife was trying to entrap me or someone on base is trying to change the nature of the real story to make it seem like, again, I was doing something with my stepdaughter when I wasn't, right? And of course, I'm making up the story, especially on base if I'm confronted by someone who's in the gay Navy or something. That also gives me an alibi. I don't know. Because, see, they would have something to hide. Not me. And I was hearing about a guy who was having sex with other sailors and seducing them into it, but was probably married and stuff like that too, right? Right. I told you that before too. So I don't know if it was him or somebody else or who. Or Daphne or not, right? See, that's the point about an alibi. There's more than one culprit who also could have done it besides you. Or make you confess it when you're not really confessing it to them. You're making up the story as you go along with them too if it's someone on base, right? But there again, I could have also called Pastor Thomas. I don't know, I didn't do that. And deal with his crazy ass again. It's all a matter of semantics too. Now he's a power, greedy, hungry pastor trying to control about 200 men. I don't know if it could have been him either. But if he's anything like Pastor Davis, who was teaching his units to masturbate with each other and jerk off, at least it's okay to jerk off, he said too. I heard him say it to me. See, that's the point. And then he felt me up, kind of. But see, he was also trying to get me to hit him, which would be assault. Because we weren't where anyone could witness the molestation part of the encounter. It wasn't molestation, though, until he put his hand between my butt cheeks, but I can't prove that in a court of law either. See, that's what we're talking about, what you can prove or not prove, too, right? In a court of law. In a court of law. That's why we're all innocent until proven guilty beyond all reasonable doubt. But see, I might could be just doing something different than this person thinks I'm doing, and if they're wrong in their interpretation of what I'm doing, they're the ones that's actually committing the crime, not me. Or trying to make me commit the crime when I never did, especially if it's someone on base. You see what I mean? So that's all I can tell you. Might could happen. I can't prove it. I can't disprove it. Nor can they, because, like I said, when I asked them the first time, what did she say, grandma or something? What do I mean by that? Well, Daphne's right the fuck there. If she's awake or asleep, okay, she don't know what's going on either way. One, she's trying to entrap me, though, if she's awake. I told you that before, too. If she's asleep, she don't know what the hell's even going on. I'll just bring her back to her to wake her up. See, I don't know what's going on in her corner of the apartment either. I'm in mine. See, one of us is where they're supposed to be. The child will be the fish out of water. You know what that means, right? The one who was in there with me when she's supposed to be in there with her mom, right? That again gives who the alibi and who would get in trouble there. The mom. Not the child, she don't know no better. I know that too. I know that too. But if I'm half asleep or waking up with her in there with me, I don't know no better right yet either. I'm just reacting as I will with my sister, not the little girl, who I showed my penis to. But there again, what did she do when I showed her penis? My penis, she went over to her mom, turned her mom and showed her penis. This child didn't do that. That raises a question as to why. Had she seen a grown man naked before? I agree with you there. She might have. But it wasn't me first. Someone else. Who might have coached her to say grandma. I don't know. If ever asked. But who does that give the alibi to? The sleeping stepdad on the couch who hasn't been around the girl at all. Mainly 1 to 4 days. And she also don't know she didn't come back in there later, and I just sent her back into her room. She can't prove or disprove that, but plus she's got to really get to sleep. Unless she has insomnia all night or something. But only Daphne would know that, not me. I went back to sleep. Because again, I'm not worried about it if that's all I did with the girl anyway. See if she peed or trying to help her get a bath or something. Because see, if I pull down her panties, why would she stay in front of me? She don't gotta pee, right? That's what I'm thinking. No, I'm not thinking something criminal yet until I dress and walk around the couch for a few seconds. And I'm not going to be right up on her because I don't want to look like I'm trying to have sex with her either. I'm not going to masturbate. I'm not going to jerk off. I'm not even going to get hard. See what I mean? But I'm going to be over by the couch too. Because see, the further I'm away from her, if I'm trying to see if she wants a bath with me or not, the better for me if Daphne's watching or not. Right? See? But I don't touch her. I would instead redress, and I would ask her who showed her that and redress her, right? That's what I think I would do in that situation if she's in there with me and I don't know what she wants. Because see, eating, drinking, or bathroom stuff, peeing or needing a bath if she didn't have a bath with Daphne, are the only reasons she would be in there with me. There's 4 reasons. Not 2, not 3, not 4. Oh, yes, 4. Yes, 4. And by the bathroom. Okay, if grandma's washing her baby, daily, and mom gets her back and don't bathe her, or even stepmom's bathing her every day, or every night. Well, what if stepmom did, Daphne herself didn't bathe her that night? And she just wanted a bath. See, that's what I would be thinking she was in there with me for, by the bathroom for. See, you can't prove what I'm thinking. Only what someone observing it might be thinking, which is the person who's slandering me on YouTube that it was something sexual when it wouldn't be to me. I know. And the difference is what could have happened, why they didn't go to the police, and again, what happened at the fall, too. Because, see, the fall brings other people into it, right? Since I'm on base by that time, too, right? And that's all I can tell you for my alibis, as well as this person who's attacking me for 15 years on YouTube, and I'm trying to get them to shut the fuck up about it, and they won't. They're the ones who needs to shut the fuck up about it, because I have amnesia anyway, I know. You're trying to beat a dead horse where I don't remember a damn thing happening between me and her that way anyway, I know. Otherwise, you're trying to jog my memory, which you cannot do with someone with amnesia. I don't remember. And all I know is I was only briefly around her 1 to 4 days before I could move back to base, because of the process you got to do to move back to base. You got to request it. Maybe with a chit or something. I forgot all the details. Just like I didn't know Daphne was going to stay 2 weeks in Arkansas, because I just got back from being in Bethesda for 2 weeks, and I'm trying to tell her why I had to be back by Monday. And was racing through the mountains, if that was her concern. That's to tell her, well, I have to be back by Monday, and you didn't realize that? See, you might have put in for leave, but did your husband know? You didn't tell him to. He was in Bethesda for 2 weeks. He had just gotten back from Bethesda, so he didn't even have an opportunity to request leave, even if she did. See, that kind of eliminates that little scenario, too, that she was overreacting, right? Now, who's being the hothead there, though, and angry with her husband? Her. See, she's overreacting to what I thought was a 3-day weekend. But she had 2 weeks. See, that's to get a different frame of mind, right? For each individual, in each circumstances, even if the child was in there with me or not, I'm going to look at it differently than my ex-wife would, unless she's trying to entrap me. Or someone on base. So, yeah, no, I don't know who. We're even bringing all this up, because clearly I got away with it, right? You know what I mean? Kinda. Could have, but didn't, so. Now, the only difference is we were raised a little different since I have a sister. Now, Daphne has a brother and a sister, right? But she probably didn't help in the raising of hers, like I did, like you do. She also didn't have a stepbrother that waited in bed until he was almost in his teens. And I guess he stopped. I don't know. But he did until at least his teens. See, that's the reason I would check to see if she peed. I was around the stepbrother who went to bed until his teens, and I wouldn't know what the hell she was doing in there to me. And to me, that would be a possibility, even if it wouldn't be to her. Which could only be who? Daphne there. And only if she's trying to entrap you with the daughter to see if I'll do something sexual with her in the first place. But I could have, but didn't still. Because, see, I'm not thinking about it as she is. She's thinking about it as she did with the car. And leaving me stranded in damn Tennessee. And starting a little fight with me before that. Before I went to Bethesda, too, right? Now, who's being the hothead 2 out of the 3 times anyway? Her or me? Her. Who's doing something stupid anyway? Her or me? Her. Her. That would be stupid of her to send her 4-year-old daughter to her husband who just started to go to sleep, right? I'm guessing that too. I don't remember, but this person knows every little detail, don't they? Seem to know that. Well, I can't because of the amnesia. And see, all I know is my personality, what I actually lived and have not lived, right? And what they could be misconstruing is how I helped raise my sister, and they did not help raise their sister because they grew up together. See. My sister wasn't born until I was almost in my teens myself. See. So I'll be part of her raising, right? I also babysit for other children, including male children, right? Ricky and Barbara's children. Remember that, Marceline? So, now, I'm just guessing what happened. I don't remember. And of course, I would never worry about, you know, potty training Ricky and Barbara's children. They were grown. But a 4-year-old, you don't know. You don't know their potty training, their abilities, or where they're at. But what would you assume if she's in there with you, either by the couch, right in your face, or over by the bathroom? She needs to go to the bathroom. She needs to go to the bathroom. See what I mean? That's all I'm thinking. Wouldn't you? If you help raise your sister? See what I mean? It's a matter of the other person's opinion of what you're doing versus yours too. It's not just all black and white either. Plus, I went over to Europe and they're going around with their titties out, right? So I handled that. When I went to the beach and I saw the naked women, I was cool with it. I behaved. I didn't get erect, right? Just like a 4-year-old would not get me erect. Even if I thought after that she might have wanted a bath. You see what I mean? You see where I'm going with this, right? If you pull down her panties, right? What would she do if she had to pee? Go straight there and pee and then come back. And then come back, right? If she had to pee. And it's still an if, right? So there's only one other reason she can be in there with you. She hadn't yet taken a bath because Mom didn't bathe her that night. I don't remember that either. I'm guessing that too. But whatever. It's going from one point to the other. If she's in there to eat or drink, she will ask you for something to eat or drink. If she's in there over by the bathroom, or she wakes you up and you take her by the bathroom, you like you're trying to see if she needs to go to the bathroom. If she's not asking you for something to eat or drink or water, right? A 4-year-old can do all that, right? Too, right? And you don't know why she's even in there with you. These are the only 4 things you could think that might be a reason she's in there. Right? Logically. Now, I don't know if this person is trying to make sure I didn't have sex with her either, but I didn't. I know I couldn't do that and get away with it. I wouldn't even try that. But this is what I would try that they would think. But there's only one person that would think that. That's what. And then she's trying to attract, because my viewpoint and her viewpoint towards child and interactions between the male and female are different at that point too, right? But guess who's the real criminal if she's using her 4-year-old as bait? Her. That's called reckless endangerment when you send your child in there to a sleeping schizophrenic, right? Who's just going to sleep. Who might will look at it differently than you if he's around different things growing up, right? But not do nothing criminal that she could really call the police on either. So you can't call the police on that. No. You can't prove I really licked her or not. You also can't prove if she let me undress in front of her. And these are just guesses, What is this person talking about? Who is this person? What's their identity? What's their motive? How do they know? How do they know? They know. Whoever they are, what happened? Who does that make the prime suspect? That's life. Why? Because you're trying to get me in trouble to either get me out the house or get me in jail. You know what I mean? And why would she do that? Well, maybe she was fed up with me and didn't want to even have my baby, because she talked about aborting the previous child she had too. But like I said, if she's trying to cut me all off, right, and get me in trouble, who's entrapping whom? She's entrapping you. She's trying to get me in trouble. Just like the fight was to see if I would hit her. I didn't hit her. I picked her up and put her in bed and walked away. But guess who's blocking the door, so I would have to do something like that. Her. But she knows I took karate. Why do you think I'm throwing around the dummies a little bit, even though it's 70 and 120 pounds? To show you just you can pick up your wife and put her into bed and leave. That's why. That part I kind of remember. I don't remember if the daughter came in there to me, because that wouldn't even be a few seconds, right? That she did that. And even my mom pointed out I showed my penis to a little girl with Debbie. I remember that. But you remember what you remember, too. I do remember one girl, but not with Debbie. I remember that part. But that's not selective memory. You just don't remember everything. Some things you remember, some things you don't. This I didn't focus on. This I would let go. Why? Because it could incriminate my ex-wife and her family, not just me, not just you. That's why if I told her kind of a white lie that she put her vagina in my face, only way she knows is she's trying to watch me with the mirror from her bedroom while the daughter's in there with me. But who's she in there with? Me. Am I really trying to hurt the girl though? That's the $1 million question. No, no.